What is going on, World Empire? Here, guys, to give you a video. I want to talk about for this week's video. Talking about a movie called Finding You. How I came to see that. When a good friend invites you, for all best, you're like, what's the best way you can approach it? Be mindful. You're like, maybe you'll see a good movie you didn't realize. And that's the beauty of checking out a movie that you're like, well, I'm not sure if I heard about this. I might have seen a trailer here or there, but you know what? I'm gonna give it a chance so I can see if maybe it's one of the worst movies of the year, or maybe it is one of the best movies of the year. It's that kind of gem. It's that gem and all that. So for this one, follows a story of a young person, a young female, who is trying to become a violinist, but a family certain situation that goes on with her family draws her to kind of look for motivation and try to go to where her family has trying to send her to find that passion, so when it's all said and done, she could be the true violinist she wants, or the passion she has. And between all that, she stumbles upon an actor. And with realizing, if you've seen how this has to do with like the luck of the Irish kind of thing, like that luck of the Irish kind of vibe, well, this chick and this guy, their fates intertwine. Their encounterings send him on a journey that eventually, benefits both characters, benefits both, as in also what he wants to pursue passionately too. Being an actor and all, like how much does he want as an actor and more as an actor? It's just as himself kind of thing. It's that kind of story. And if you stumble upon this and all, you're like, and I kind of had to admit, I was like, this is like a Lifetime or Hallmark kind of thing for a movie. But it coming out in the cinema, me seeing it and all that, and kind of just processing the whole thing and letting it marinate. The number one thing I really liked of this movie is how the energy was. Maybe it was because I was enjoying it with a good friend and all, a good friend and stuff. But I like with the two main actors, the girl and the guy, how they meet and how they kind of banter off one another, how they kind of, it's that kind of thing. You like each other, but you want to play hard to like each other kind of thing. I enjoyed it. Like they sold it as well as they could for that kind of acting. This kind of film, how it is, has a lot of like sort of cheesy kind of dialogues here and there too, especially the family that the girl has to stay with. Realizing though that the guy has a sort of connection to, and how the reactions are, and how kind of certain dialogues get go from one person to another. It could be play as corny, but for this kind of film, that's what you expect coming in and all that. But like I said, the best thing that works is their energy, and I liked it. That really carried a lot of the movie. I will say one thing I want to get into I feel like it carried it so much that I'm like, there was too much going around, or like too much sort of like an exposition, too much of that going on wrong. That even though that's his strongest thing, that was also a bit that kind of delved with the movie too. But I still kind of like the pro. The pro weighed out definitely the con. The pro was way better for it. The locations they use, the way that they celebrated the spirit as best as it could, at least the way I interpreted it, it was all fun and games. Having them kind of stumble upon these people from a certain basically village where they all stay. It was nice to kind of see people's points and seeing how a character serves a purpose. You might think, oh, they're just here for that. Yeah, they're just here to serve a certain narrative, but it was fine. It was nice to get these kind of wiseful, mindful, just inspiration, just motivation lines kind of thing. And it all just factors in. Like there's still parts that were like, we have to have a sympathy moment, we have to have you know a a celebration moment, we have to have these things. I feel like it has to fit a quota. But through all that, it's still very dynamic, still very the chemistry because of those two actors, and just realizing then, as long as you're aware what kind of story it's really fun. It's really fun, and they do give emotional as it can be depths for certain things. So you kind of feel like you're aware that okay, these are the beats. This is the beats that certain characters need to play, especially okay, do we need a villain, and how does the hero kind of portray stuff, and realizing okay, where does the climax come in. If you know how film, there were certain things that call my out away. But that's kind of realizing once I was going through the movie, the first 20 minutes or what to expect, and I enjoyed it. Some movies, people can't just always do that kind of adaptation, which is understandable. And sometimes, some movies do not work so hard that it's so bland and boring. This movie, again, was sort of like in the middle of the road. It felt very like the actors were having a good time, so that's what made it really the film really enjoyable. It was that kind of thing. That's the best part. Like I said, there's a lot of like maybe some parts were too long, maybe some of the character kind of decisions and the whole what's in the script and the plot, is kind of cheesy, predictable. But again, acting. It was really the fun vibe of all this. Definitely the atmosphere. The atmosphere was entertaining, and just definitely seeing these characters at least give a certain vibe. And I appreciate as much as this movie needed to go for depth. For the depth, like even whatever it had as a certain budget, I commend them, if that's it. I applaud that kind of sort of effort. So I really think that even though the movie is not gonna be submitted for Academy Awards, it's not the strength or whatever, it's not so strong, it still was being like there was put thought into it. There was definitely put some thought, and just it really again, it's a really enjoyable flick. It's an enjoyable flick. It is like a rom com thing, so it really depends on the rom com. I appreciate the coming to age aspect. The coming to age aspect, not every time it's like you see that and it's a hit, but with this one, it worked. It definitely was sufficient, and I did enjoy seeing this and all. So yeah, like this is a movie that works better because of the performances. Because of the performance. But like I always say, guys, these are my thoughts and opinions. If you stumble upon this, let me know if this was just like, yeah, your typical kind of cheesy kind of rom com, like a rom com that you just like, or it's one of your favorites. You like the chemistry, you like the acting performances. I really enjoyed the flick. I thought it was really not charming film, and the acting again, like I keep saying, was the best part. As in, like two actors just giving the energy that it can and all. So all this in the comments below, and as always, Roland Empire, laugh, smile, repeat.